Hey guys, so today I figured again, same as my last video, long overdue on an update on my server rack, home network rack. Those of you who've seen my last video back in, I believe it was 2016, will notice that there are some changes, and I'll be doing some changes now. I've got some upgrades and replacement stuff ready to go in to upgrade it. So yeah, at the moment there's not too much difference. Those of you who saw the last one, we still have NTD over there. Thanks to some issues we had, NBN Co has replaced that unit there and the connection box on the top, so that's all brand new, and it's been working better ever since. We've had very little dropouts since then. They've replaced it, so yeah, finally it's about time we got decent internet. So I've had no dropouts since it's been changed. Speeds are better now. Very happy with it. Still on Telstra. Still using the crappy provided router. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately, because Telstra's still not giving out information so that we can get rid of the phone, or sorry, not get rid of it, but to configure third-party devices to use it. If we come down, as you can see, I've still got the Netgear switch in there, which I will be replacing. I'll show you what I'll be replacing that with in a second. This other little box here, you can see, that's a network TV tuner. Great little unit. So basically that's connected into the network, so I can get like free air TV here in Australia through that thing on any computer, which is really handy. Still got the HP MicroServer Gen 8. I have upgraded it since the last video. I'll go over that in a second, and I'm also using a different operating system and got some different stuff going on it. I can't remember if that was there last time. Power bar with some stuff plugged into it. That power bar is plugged into the UPS, not on a battery backup line. That's just on a surge protected line from the UPS down here. One thing I do want to get rid of is that giant cable. I'll be trimming that down because that cable goes out along the floor to my office, so I will be trimming that down. As you can see, it is quite dusty in there, which I will be cleaning out during this upgrade. So I can't remember if I mentioned it in the last video, but one of the things I wanted to add into the rack last time was this thing. Now it's a Monoprice. I got it from Amazon, but you could probably get it off Monoprice or wherever they sell. It's a patch panel. I bought this one as a blank one, but as you can see, I've got Keystone jacks in it now. Since I bought it blank, I had to get the Keystone separately, so basically what I did was I just ordered a couple of these boxes. They have these Keystone jacks in them. Basically just both ends are the same jack. They clip in, as you can see, just on the side there. Let me pull this out of the box. Sorry, hard to do one-handed. So yeah, as you can see, they're all installed. So basically they just clip in the side there. And the reason why I went for these kind of connectors instead of the more standard things you'd see on the patch panel is because I didn't want to have to terminate any cables into the back, so I didn't want them to be like a permanent fixture in the rack cabinet. It's kind of a bit of overkill for what I got going, so I decided to get these ones. That way I can to basically just put RJ45 connectors on the end of any cables I need. If anything breaks, like if a cable gets damaged or anything, I can just unplug it, replace the cable. Yeah, if the RJ45 connector comes loose, I can just snip it off, put on a new one. So yeah, really happy I picked this up. So that'll be going probably above where the switch is here. So I'll put that in here. This will move down to the shelf here, or just on top of the server here. Yeah, so all these cables will essentially plug into the back of the patch panel, which will be here, and I've got some shorter cables coming that I can hook up between the patch panel and the new switch I'm getting. So what I'll do now is I'll pause the video, I'll pull out the rack, pull out everything in it, give it a good clean, get rid of the dust, and when that's all done, I'll come back and start doing the upgrades. Hey guys, so I'm back. It's been about a week since the original part where I said I'd be pausing it to clean out the rack. Unfortunately, after pausing from the previous bit, I got called into work, so yeah, I couldn't continue doing the rack upgrade slash clean out. So yeah, it's been about a week and I've done all the changes, all the new stuff's in. So what I'll do is I'll start from the top up here, work my way down, and just explain what everything is, all the new stuff, and how it all works. So up here, you'll probably notice that there's a new UFO sitting on the top here. This thing here is my new access point. So it's a Ubiquity UniFi UAP-AC Lite, and that provides wireless for the rest of my house. So on here, you'll notice I've got the wireless turned off, so I'm not using the wireless on that router anymore. It's all done through the Ubiquity access point. For anyone who's curious about what router that is, that's the one provided by my Telstra internet service provider. The model is a Technicolor TG797N version 3. It's crap, I want to get rid of it, but because we have a phone service through it, I can't. So yeah, thanks Telstra for not giving us the info we need to do third-party stuff for what we're paying you for. So that's the change up there. So if we go down into the rack now, you'll see here at the top I've got that patch panel in. Now I did go into a bit of explanation. That was a blank patch panel I bought off Amazon. I filled it with all RJ45 Keystones, so they're all like sockets, so the fronts are sockets and the backs are sockets, so I can easily swap out cables as needed. You'll see I've got some nice short patch cables there. If you're interested in what they are, these are the brand. So again, they're Monoprice 5-pack. They call them Slim Run, so you'll notice that they're very thin cables compared to normal Ethernet cables. So yeah, if anyone's interested, that's what they are. I picked these up thinking that they might not be good, just yeah, with how thin they are, but I actually do like them. They cut down on cable clutter here at the front. Yeah, as you can see, I've kind of like, because they are shorter, I've had to like use ports that are closer to them. Yeah, I like them, but I probably won't get any more. I'll probably just get normal Ethernet patch cables in the future if needed. Oh, sorry, just moving for a better look. Okay, and then under that we have my new switch. So as you can see, it's another Ubiquity device. So This is the UniFi 24 port managed gigabit switch with 2 SFP ports at the side there, which I'm not currently using. I probably will if I ever further upgrade with more devices in the rack, but until then they'll be unused. This is the non-PoE model. Just because I don't have any PoE devices, it just seemed a waste to get a PoE switch for a higher cost when I won't be using that function. So yeah, I just went with the normal model, and love it. The whole UniFi system is incredible, so easy to set up. The amount of customization you get from their control software is incredible. Highly recommend the Ubiquity line to anyone looking for better network gear. Okay, and then moving down, so we got the HP MicroServer. I did cover this in the last video. So this is a HP Proliant MicroServer Gen 8. It's running an Intel Xeon E3 1220L at 2.3 gigahertz. It's a dual core, so I had to upgrade that processor from what was installed, which was an Intel Celeron. That processor now is really improved the performance of this box, which was a worthwhile upgrade. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, dual Gigabit NICs, which I've got both plugged into the switch up there, so there's like link aggregation happening, which allows me better throughput when accessing the server. Helps with the traffic going to and from it. Very handy. An upgrade from last time about this one is yeah, I know it's still dirty. I haven't had time to clean this out, but I'll get there. So 4 hard drive bays. I can't remember what I had in that last video, but I have upgraded to Seagate 4 terabyte Ironwolf drives, so 4 of them. Yeah, so really increased the capacity on that. Really happy with that. So last time I believe this was running Windows Server 2008 R2, and I wanted to upgrade to Windows Server 2016 R2, 2016. But I ran into some issues, so this is now running UnRaid. Really impressed with UnRaid. It's been a great little system. So on this I'm running an Ubuntu 18.04 virtual machine, which is hosting some stuff on it. And yeah, because it's Ubuntu, it's quite a low resource intensive VM, which is very handy. I'm also running several Dockers on this, so I've got DuckDNS, so I can get a an address so I can access it from outside my network. So it updates my DuckDNS address with whatever my ISP IP is, because I don't have a static one, I have a dynamic one, so it changes quite constantly. So the DuckDNS Docker just updates my DuckDNS address with our dynamic IP, allowing me to access, not access through DuckDNS, but it allows me to set up. I've also got another Docker running OpenVPN-AS. So that's how I can remote into the network through the server, which is very handy. I'm also running the UniFi controller Docker, which allows me to control the switch, the access point, and all the other UniFi stuff, which is very handy. I've also got a Plex media server Docker running on here, and everyone can access it throughout the home. So I've got all our DVDs ripped to the storage on here, and yeah, so we can pretty much watch whatever we want off it without using the discs, so very handy. And the last one, I've got a few other Dockers on there just to help with the running and tracking of stuff that goes on. So yeah, very happy with that. And then moving on to here, so this little black box up the front here, you may have seen it in my last video. That is a Silicon Dust HD HomeRun Connect. It's basically a network TV tuner. Yeah, so through Plex Docker, I've set this up so now I can watch live TV through Plex. Pardon me, here in Australia. So we get free-to-air TV, so that's what that does. That gives me free-to-air TV through Plex, which is quite awesome. I can also do recordings through Plex, and yeah, it's just a really good little setup. I would like to upgrade to something newer, but this thing has just been rock solid. I've had it for years. I can't even remember how many years now, and it's still chugging along. Great little investment, that. The white thing behind it, some of you might know what that is. That is a Philips Hue bridge. So I've got some smart devices around, light bulbs and all that, and for anyone who uses the Philips Hue system of stuff, you know that you need the bridge for it. So that's plugged into the network, and all the Philips Hue stuff talks to that. I actually kind of like that better than everything just connecting straight to Wi-Fi. Yeah, so pretty impressed with the Philips Hue system. Like I said, I've just mainly got light bulbs on it, controlling it with Google Assistant, which is quite handy and fun to use. Alright, and then moving down to some of the last stuff. So this is my battery backup. It's an APC BR900GI. It's a Power Saving Backups Pro 900 VA, 540 watt. So same as last video, that hasn't changed. It's been going strong ever since. I can show you. It's currently drawing 252 volts, and if we were to have a power cut, I can run pretty much everything. So all of that, the NTD, all this equipment for about 90 minutes. So that's quite impressive for everything I've got in this rack, that I can run everything for about an hour and a half. Yeah, quite a good little unit. Yeah, can't really fault it. It's there's a special cable that's plugged in, like it's a USB plugged into the server, and through UnRaid they actually have a module you can use to monitor this. So yeah, another good thing about UnRaid is yeah, you can get a lot of stuff to help you yeah, kind of it to be the brains of your network. So yeah, and then the rest on the bottom here is all just power stuff. So this power strip I had up on this shelf, I think you saw before I cut the video, so I've moved it down, so all the power stuff's on the bottom there. Having done all this upgrade stuff, that's about it for this round. The next round of updates I want to do is get a better power solution in. So like I said before cutting the video, I'm not too happy with that power strip, just chilling there. One thing I am looking at is getting a PDU, a rack mount PDU strip for the rack, so that I can just have everything a bit neater. The problem is, when it comes to rack mount stuff, I am quite short on space just because of how I've configured the rack at the moment. If I were to upgrade it, I'd be taking this bottom shelf out and so the UPS would just sit on the bottom of it, which I think I worked out frees up about 3 U's of space, maybe even possibly 4 U's, because if I can move this down, then I can move this shelf down, giving me a bit more space up here to put some other stuff. Other than that, that's about it for this update video. So thanks again for watching. Hope you guys found this somewhat informative, entertaining. If anyone's interested, I can go through basically a run through of what my UnRaid's running. If anyone wants to see that as a video, I might consider doing that, just to show how I've got stuff set up. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you guys like to see that. But otherwise, that is the home rack upgrade 2020. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you for the next round of upgrades. Bye.